could choose to accept or deny, it was their choice.
Yeah, and I know like, there's a couple other employees that went and did it, you know, that
As
probably
the,
work in the jail, but not.
as essential employees.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
offered,
It was offered already.
yeah,
Yep, probably a month ago,
or longer.
it might even be more than that, yeah.
So, can I ask my question this way? So if you weren't notified, you weren't considered essential? It's
Yeah.
kinda snarky, but, okay. Cause somebody asked me if it's gonna, if it's been offered or if it's gonna be
But
offered.
if anybody wants one, they can just call Custer Health, they're giving them,
Yep.
you know, to the general public at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's open to the general public now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Okay,
you can just call Custer Health if you want to know, yeah.
I'll tell this person that then.
Depends
Cause
on
I
your
think they
age.
wanna get it. I don't, I'm not asking for me, I'm not getting the darn thing.
Depends on
Someone
your
else can
age.
have mine.
Right? Cause I'm like, you can have it if you want.
And walk around and grow an extra year or something.
That's how my grandma, let me know when you start growing your tail, we'll get you checked out. She didn't think it was funny.
She didn't.
Oh, no. And that, I mean, that's, yeah, I could, if you want, that's
If you
fine.
have one side of it or the other, I think.
But
Yeah.
what's
And like
scaring
you
me
said, I think
is,
it's totally up to the person, you know?
what's scaring me though is that they're gonna try to make it mandatory in some cases.
They're supposed to fly it and things.
Yeah, like the airlines, all of a sudden they think they're medical experts.
Mhm.
How about you just get me on a, you can't even get a seat correct, a comfortable seat. Now you wanna tell me how I'm gonna live my health life? Good morning.
Good morning. You probably get a free COVID card.
There you go. Never thought of that. Our state's attorney is, so we can talk.
Yeah.
Little bit.
It was nice to look out this morning and go,
Oh,
ooh, it's rain.
I kept looking and
You
it
gotta
wasn't
write it
too
down.
much there, but the steps
camera
was
isn't
a
here,
little
is it?
bit,
It's over there.
little
They
slick.
can't see what I'm writing. That'll be
Yeah.
next.
I would take
They
any
can't
day.
see what we're writing.
One's the sheriff's.
I agree.
But the sidewalk
And one of them's
didn't
the sheriff can watch us?
look the wettest, and I go,
Well, that's
gee,
for our own
come
safety.
on, come on. A little more.
Tell Jim to fix that.
Oh, this time it's right on.
Oh, maybe he fixed it. Did you complain?
No.
Did you put a complaint in?
Or did he just automatically know, I need to have that?
Oh, I bet he watched the last meeting video and.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Who, me?
to Karen, Jim did.
Oh, okay.
I bet you're right.
Yeah, I seen, I had 8:58. Oh, I can hurry up, go to the bathroom, walk in, right, make it. Huh? No, it's late.
It's okay. Happens to the rest of us.
Oh, we got a big crowd.
I know. Always.
Okay, we'll call the March 17th Mercer County Commission meeting to order. We'll have the agenda in front of us. Any additions to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a couple, actually, they're not correct, they're just corrections that had to do with me typoing when I sent my request in. Where it says tax and financial statement, as opposed to say tax and financial software.
Okay,
And where it says Mercer County financial statement, cash on hand 131, as opposed to say 12/31/20. I put the wrong date on it. That's all I have, sir.
anything else? Not, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So move, Mr. Chairman, with the additions or corrections.
Corrections, yeah. Second?
I'll second.
Liza got it.
Okay, Wayne,
How about I?
Liza,
Aye.
Marvin,
Aye.
Jean, aye. Minutes are in front of us. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented for March 3rd.
Second?
Second.
Liza, how do you vote?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye,
Gene, aye. I'm having trouble with your name today.
you're missing the man in the middle here,
Yeah.
so.
Yep, that's why it's throwing you off.
You called me.
Tripping me up. Okay, review and approve bills. And once again, if you got a question on one of them, mention it or hang on to it. I'll sign them as I get them, even though they weren't approved yet. But I can always pull one even if I sign it. Good morning.
Come on, Gene, give her the name.
Oh, I can't. I even asked her name last night. Ashley?
You should go with a different name, just throw them off every meeting, just tell them it's like Karina or Darcy or something, just
Yeah.
every meeting.
Whatever you wanna be today.
George.
So,
Georgina.
Yeah.
I have 8 brothers, and we go to a family reunion, and a cousin that you haven't seen for 8 years walks up and, "Oh, which one are you?" And I'll just give him a different brother's name, and
Yep.
it's not very nice, but it's kind of fun. Long reach today, I'll move over so we get a little bit compromised there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna storm here for a while, so you feel rushed. We gotta pay Dan, I guess.
Yeah, apparently.
That's not a bad thing.
Question for you, Marv, a little bit. The mulcher here, I see they got a bearing house assembly and they're $1,421 and they got two assemblies.
I'm unaware of that deal, yeah.
Okay, it's from Captain, we'll take a peek at that, okay?
It's from the road department?
Yeah.
First I heard of it, so.
Well, looks like here they bought 2 Orbit motors.
Were you talking about that broom?
No, it's this one right
Okay.
here.
Let's see. Thought it's coming here quicker, so.
This is, you know,
Okay, thank you.
has two motors in there, yeah.
We might pull these bills until the road department comes in, we'll see here. Let them explain them.
Yeah, I think that would be a good plan. Here's the other one.
Okay.
There's the other one, yeah.
I'd like to hold these two bills, Gene, just for an explanation from the road department, please. As long as they're here, you know.
Gotta bring yourself some cards or dice or. Of course, that'd be old fashioned if you actually used a deck of cards to play solitaire. Keep us awake anyway, and every once in a while you gotta slam them. Okay.
believe it was a new one.
Lights. To the
Wasn't
shop,
looking
I
for
don't
that
know if
question,
it's
but I picked it
the
up.
older shop or if they put lights over up in the new shop.
I don't know, she didn't talk to me about it, but I can definitely ask her.
I don't know, here it says retrofit lights, so it might be the old one. They must have trenched over there, a new line too, or possibly.
I know she was trying to get stuff set up, cause they've had issues.
Issues?
So she's trying to get it more lit and more
That might, yeah,
able to.
that must be the old one I looked at.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they are much brighter and much cheaper to
yeah,
run, I
and
know.
then it helps show things,
Yeah,
so. Just trying to be more proactive.
yeah.
That one will stump you for a second till you look at the last page. I mean, what's all these? And you look at the last certain ones.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah. It helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That was a list of what the rates were, not what you're being billed.
Exactly.
Oops, separate ones here. Okay. Tank cap. You know, I go and borrow my brother-in-law's pickup, because I took my, I don't know why, but this was years ago. Parked it in the a parking lot in Bismarck, I won't name the business. Then I went to another business, parking lot, came out, the gas tank lid is sitting wide open. I'm going, what the hell? Walked up there, someone stole the cover. That spin-on cover. I'm going, you gotta be kidding. So the one time I borrowed my brother-in-law's pickup, I had to buy him a darn gas cover. I'm going, what the heck? At least they were nice enough to leave the door open so that
So you were aware.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was either that or I walked up at an inopportune moment for them and didn't pay attention who was running away. But yeah,
Which
so
door
when
did
I
they-
seen Cap there,
Which
and
door
he's
did they
going-
leave open?
Tank and Cap, made me think of that. What's that?
Which door did they leave open?
The gas
Oh,
cover
the
door,
flapper, okay.
yeah.
I was thinking of my diesel pickup, it just got the deal
Oh,
right there,
no.
doesn't have the flapper on. Well, you know, that's your story, Gene, you know, you could have fueled up and forgot to do it, put it back. But it had that little tangent or tail on it that would have stopped it, right?
Yep. No, it was gone, had to go buy him a new gas cover, I said,
Could've-
gee whiz.
could've used a greasy rag under the seat, you know.
Yeah, well. Guess it was my
I may have seen that
brother-in-law,
before.
I could've
Yeah.
done that.
That's been a while since I saw that.
That must have been in the old days
I'm a
stuff.
bad liar, though.
There was a guy in Mott that always drove a Cadillac, and,
16.
we were out there visiting him, I came home, and he opened up the hood and pulled his battery, walked over to pick up, stuck it in the pickup. I said, what's the deal? He said, well, why do you need more than one battery?
Oh, boy.
The guy was fairly well off. Yeah, he just had one battery for all his vehicles, he just swapped them back and forth.
I'm gonna wait and see if we ever get a bill for a catalytic converter coming through here, because that's been on the rise again. stealing catalytic converters off vehicles.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I know they had.
It's not that easy, it's not that easy to do.
In Wayne County, they caught some of those people, like from Mercer County, issues too, but still going on.
Yep.
Just park your big four-wheel drive tractor out there and let them have that one.
Why?
I wouldn't tempt them.
It'd be a very expensive bill, I can tell you. Yay long.
At least the newer tractors, you gotta have a key to start them. If fuel is electric shut off, or, you know, your older tractors, you don't need the key. Get 'em, you can get them going. Some of them you don't have any electronics, but.
A few years ago, a guy from Linton was telling me that he was a road grader, and they left all their equipment parked on the side of the road, so they wouldn't have to drive it so all the way back. Next morning, they came out and the truck was missing the battery. Well, so they went to town, got a new battery and stuck it in. Kept on going down the road, and they're 8 or 10 miles down the road, and parked it on the road again. Next morning, truck wouldn't start. You know, went back out there and opened the hood, and there the new battery was gone and the old battery was sitting there.
You swapped it out.
That's really got a lot of audacity there. Balance due, $5,300.
That's why you park it at the farmer's yard.
That's e-dispatch, right?
So what's that?
That's the e-dispatch program?
Mhm. Okay, this one here, you need headlights on the blades?
You're like, not sure if that was worded correctly.
Yeah.
I don't think they last too long, no.
Kind of just curiosity question, we have a tower rent here. And it's coming out of the general fund. What's that tower used for? Isn't it the sheriff's tower? Pardon me?
Radio, emergency radio, rent the tower.
Comes out of the 911 account.
Yeah,
It's a 3-month, every 3 months we get the bill and it's split between different accounts.
different, okay. Thank you. We're gonna fool them, make them think that they're done.
Yeah.
Just gonna ask a question. Signature answered it. There's my February. 5 minutes. Pardon? No. Question on 2 of them.
Are we gonna wait?
Yeah, might as well. Make it 1.
Put it at the bottom then?
We got 5 minutes. Liquor license number 448 Dakota Waters Resort semi-annual on-off sale beer liquor. Nobody here to,
No, I just need a motion.
That's one we give every year, right? Mr. Chairman, I move to approve liquor license 448.
second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Marvin, how you vote?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
How about I?
Jean, aye.
Can I sign this one?
And this one?
Yeah.
February sheriff's fees, 29/10/27. Have a motion?
I'll so move, Mr. Chairman, accept the sheriff's fee for 29.10 27 cents.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Wayne, how you vote?
How about I?
Liza?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Jean, aye. Recorder's fees, 460340. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the recorder's fees of $4603.40.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Liza?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Wayne?
How about I?
Jean, aye. City, can we do that one in 3 minutes? City of Zap resolution, I ain't gonna read that number.
Okay, I got, the City of Zap resolution finally to buy those 2 foreclosed properties from the meeting last fall. I have, their resolution, their check for $2, so if we just go ahead and, approve that, I'll let Jean sign the deeds and we'll get them off.
So that was, okay.
I make a motion to accept the City of Zap resolution.
Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Liza?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Wayne?
I vote aye.
Jean votes aye. Okay, I'm gonna take a second here. Have 2 of them to sign. We're getting awfully close now to 2 minutes.
You can do number 7 down there if you wanted to.
Mercer County financial statement, cash on hand.
Okay. I put that on the agenda today and it's very simple. We received a cash on hand date, it's the, looks like this in the handout, 12/31/20. And I just wanna make a statement that I will not accept that. And the reason being, it's missing Fund 2104, which had revenue and transfers out in 2020. And it's not,
This one on here.
it's not listed on there. That's
You don't
correct.
have to accept it, it's just something
I know.
extra that I provide to the board that I don't actually
Okay.
need to.
Yep, okay.
I just wanna make a statement that I won't
Yep.
accept that.
Okay.
So that's done.
Now we'll just wait the whole minute for Carmen. Might as well come up.
Okay, I have a handout. I'll keep you busy for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so this is, I'm gonna give you a copy over here now. I just explained this page to Brenda.
Thank you, Carmen.
Thanks, Carmen. I know.
Like that.
Thank you.
Still works, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, due to the extreme dryness of the county, and Craig asked them from the NDSU extension even stated that December, January, and February so far is the driest winter for moisture on record since 1895. And the thing is,
Since when?
1895. Wow. So anyway, it's really dry out there. And the thing is, even the few fires a couple weeks ago, they were burning garbage in the barrels and got away on, and there was no wind. So we can't even imagine what's gonna happen if there's wind along with all this fuel. And so what I was hoping is I'm gonna go through the restrictions, and then I would say because it's so restricted that we watch this and possibly, as soon as we get some cleanup, see if we can pull it, just to give people a break, because I know, and this is strictly for the county. And that's why I gave you this first sheet, because I wanted you to know that the restrictions on this are only for Mercer in the county. They don't include the city or the state parks. The cities and the state parks are, in this one, responsible for their own restrictions, whatever they wanna do. But in the county, there will be no building, maintaining, attending a fire of any type, including pit, burn barrel, and/or a campfire. And then, of course, the smoking only in an enclosed vehicle or building or in a developed recreational site, so that it's 3
And you talked to like fire chiefs
Oh, yes, I
and,
took
right?
this and I sent it out to all the fire chiefs and everybody was in agreement, and law enforcement.
And other counties have enacted stage 2, or do you know?
Oh,
or-
but see, that's the thing, every county does, I know that Morton County put on a fire ban,
Mhm, I saw that.
but we're looking at our area. 'Cause,
Mhm.
you know, they could, I went to Bismarck yesterday and they had rain, I don't know what Bismarck really doing. I know Morton's got one out, they put out the other day.
Mhm.
But I know from experience that, you know, we may not get rain at all in a certain area. I mean, it's up to us to decide what we want to do. And at times Morton's drier than it can be, and we're not. We're not gonna put one on just to put one on. We gotta, but our fire chiefs agreed with this,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that, for right now, we're that dry.
Yeah, and the only way to remove this is we don't have to meet again and remove it, correct?
Well, actually, I could go through.
Or adjust it.
The auditor and the chairman to
Okay.
temporarily remove it, but then we'd have to meet within, I believe we have 7 days to make it official.
That was gonna be my question. So if we enact this and tomorrow we get 3 inches of rain or 6 inches of snow, we could,
Take it off.
we could take it off like almost immediately. But this stays in effect, there's no termination on it until the commission removes it? Okay.
Help me out with that, what was just said. If we're gonna approve this, all logic says that we're probably gonna approve this today, but if we got rain or snow the next 2 days, what was just said is it can't come off until the commission approves it, so.
No, I can go through, normally I go through the auditor and I talk to the chairman, and then she would sign, or as long as I have an agreement from the chairman to rescind it. then we can
Temporarily.
Rescind it,
Mhm.
and then I let the dispatch know, and then I put it out to the public.
Okay,
But then it wouldn't, you know, then we come back to our meeting, and then we make a motion.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'd call that a,
John, I thought you said that there was a 7-day period.
Yeah, usually when you do something in between commission meetings, you got a 7-day period to get it done. Like, the next commission meeting, we have to get it done.
Because if it was tomorrow that the snow
Yeah,
came, then you have more than 7 days. So would they have to have a special meeting?
I think I would talk to the chairman.
Okay. Oh, and then just do another temporary 7 days
Yeah.
until the next
That's
meeting.
what I would do. But remember, if we did even got 3 inches of rain tomorrow, it could dry out.
Yes.
Mhm.
Snow is different.
60
We got
mile an hour
like-
wind.
I don't even know if 6 inches would do it, but
Yeah.
a couple feet would.
I was gonna say, we don't want that 30 inches South Dakota and Wyoming got.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't gotta go extreme.
Yeah, next week.
7
3 inches a
mile
day,
an hour wind.
And then it's gotta green up.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
Green up, and
right,
then.
right.
But I still think even after that, we wanna stay with what we have right now, cause it's tied to the fire danger and rating.
Not trying to, well, I guess convolute it more. So even if we got this miraculous rain in the next, before the next commission meeting in 2 weeks, and even at that, do we have room for allowance for a special case? If someone came then and said, okay, we got all this snow, we got all this rain, I wanna burn this hay bale, or I always go to my flax bales, but to burn this building or something, they could get special permission?
Yes, and I think what
Okay.
I always go to the chairman, when I have things that happen in between commission meetings, I go to the chairman, and I'm gonna let Liza know, cause she's my portfolio holder, no matter what.
Yeah.
But I would talk to you about it, and the thing is, it's letting law enforcement know,
Mhm.
it's letting dispatch know, and the fire department. If they are gonna burn a building, it'd be nice to have the fire department there
Mhm.
and aware of it, and then.
Well, I just asked this question, I don't see it happening, but, you know, people ask questions, they say, well, we got, 6 inches of snow last night, and I wanna burn this building down today, but I can't until 2 weeks from now, and it'll probably be dry again.
Right.
Well,
and I
okay,
agree.
we can talk to the sheriff, talk to the local fire chief, and if they say, yeah, go ahead, we'll let you do it.
Then we all coordinate and
Okay.
make sure, because the big thing too is we don't wanna call out fire
Yeah.
somewhere where it's not needed, yes.
Yes, right, I got you. Common sense,
Yeah.
And,
which my
again, like Carmen mentioned, we do sometimes
phone.
have zones. For instance,
being
here by the
sarcastic.
river or north of Beulah will have high moisture, and down in my country, we have just nothing. So we do have zones that we set up, and if it's that dry, well, that's what we gotta do.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's where, like this one, I kinda changed it so that we included the burn barrels
Right,
and campfires, because
Right.
normally we don't do that. So it depends on the situation, but yes, that in the past, we've had some.
Okay.
And I had a little bit of situation the other day. The dog was barking and looking around. Went to the mail. Somebody was parked in an approach down there and had their lunch, and left part of his lunch there. But I was just reflecting. I go, man, if he'd had a cigarette and flinged the cigarette out, I mean, we cut the ditch, but there's still plenty dry foliage. Oh, my goodness, the wind was from the south, you know, so it's just like what she said here. It's important because we could have quite a big issue,
The wind was
so.
blowing like it normally does.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I make a motion that we accept the motion as presented for the burn ban. Carmen, read.
It's the last page.
I'll read the motion. I make a motion to rescind the Mercer County Fire Emergency Declaration and the Stage 1 burn ban proclamation that was put into effect on February 3rd, 2021, and approve the Stage 2 proclamation that states a Stage 2 burn ban will be in effect until further notice for Mercer County.
do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Marvin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
How about I?
Gene will vote aye. Which one do you want? This one?
Yeah, that's a good deal. I know.
Thank you, Carmen.
Yes, thank
Your
you.
presentations are always really straightforward.
Thank you.
Okay. Pardon?
You can do number 6 if you want to, sir.
Bill approval
Report.
report.
Okay, I just got something I want to share with you guys, and looks like, oh, that's not it. Let's see if I got it here. Don't have it in your group.
Must be
I might have left it on the counter at home. Is it
this one?
Yes. Okay, I don't have a copy. Okay, what I want to mention is, I'll just let you keep that. No, this isn't, no, sir, that's not it.
Okay.
I forgot to include it. I can describe it, that's no problem.
Oh, wait.
In 2016 and 2018, we had a bill approval spreadsheet. Okay, there's
Is
one.
that it?
Yep,
Okay.
there should be one for 18 also, it looks like this.
Okay, yep.
Okay. We haven't received a bill approval spreadsheet for quite a few weeks, and I believe that it's absolutely necessary that we receive it. And so what, I'm gonna make a motion that, that we go back to that and receive that prior to the meeting so we can review it. It's also a checks and balance system for later on checking what bills were approved or not. So, I just wanted to present that in 2016 and 2018, we had a spreadsheet like this. And it lists where the funds came out of, which is really, really nice. Very good information on there. So, I just wanted to share that with you. And I move that our auditor prepare a bill approval spreadsheet as was prepared in 2016 or 2018. And this spreadsheet be sent to commissioners prior to the board meeting dates.
You making that a motion?
Yes, I did make that a note. Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, well,
I can read it back to you guys if you want me to.
Yeah, I would like you to.
just, go ahead.
Okay. I move that our auditor prepare a bill approval spreadsheet as was prepared in 2016 or 2018. And this spreadsheet be sent to commissioners prior to board meeting dates.
Okay, I need a second. I need a second to that motion. Need a second to that motion. Hearing none, motion failed. Well, we got 1 minute. Brenda Cook update. You might as well
Slide up.
just walk slow. Well, my state's attorney says it has to be right on the time, so.
Okay.
I think you're okay with her.
Oh, she okayed this one, go ahead.
What took you?
Okay, good
What took
morning.
you so long, right, Brenda?
Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm on the agenda today to report on some changes in the recorder's office. And I might as well get it out there that I'm submitting my letter of resignation as the Mercer County Recorder effective June 4th, 2021. I know that this is a bad time to retire as it's midterm, but with everything going on this past year, I just feel that life is too short, and I feel that this is something I have to do. I know that my new deputy, Shannon, hasn't been here very long, but I'm confident that she will do just fine. And I'll only be a phone call away. And I'm willing to come in, you know, if needed, if they need help. I'm willing to come in anytime, and like I said, I'm a phone call away, so. That's all I have. Any questions?
No,
You said June?
June 4th.
June
June
4th?
4th.
Yeah.
Okay.
we're just
I would,
sad to see you go.
yeah,
Yes.
we have a lot
I
of
know.
knowledge that's gonna be talked about.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Do you feel like maybe we should look at hiring somebody sooner than later so that
Yes.
we can get
I do.
another person trained in while you're still in the office?
And Shannon's really good, and she's really stepped up to the plate, and I think she'll just do fine. But, yeah, I think we need somebody in sooner than later to kind of get acquainted with everything. And so. But that's all I have. I'm
Wish you
sorry,
well.
like I said, I
No,
know
don't be
it's
sorry, I'm
it's a
excited
bit-
for you and enjoy it.
Yes.
Thank
You
you.
And it's-
earned it.
golfing.
Yes.
Yeah, and I completely
Grandkids,
understand
yes.
too. I mean,
Okay.
you need to take the time to be with family
Right.
and to enjoy your life.
Got a
so.
couple of grandkids that I want to spend some time with.
Right.
so.
Professional
Very
grandma
important.
is a nice career move.
There you go. All right, thank you.
They like that extra babysitting
They
time.
do.
It's cool.
I
I'll
know
miss
they
you.
can get by with anything.
Yeah. Just give them some sugar
Brenda,
and
I'm
some
gonna miss you.
brownies. Yes,
Thanks for your time.
thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you for your time, Brenda.
So on that note, they would have to appoint a recorder in her position
Right.
and then give her permission to hire a deputy recorder to start filling in. Did you guys get that?
Which we don't
We
need to do today.
Appoint somebody
Correct.
as the recorder
For the, her vacant position effective June 4th. Yep.
and then, we need permission from the board, since it's not in the budget, to get somebody hired and trained in that office.
What would be, when does her term expire?
Her term is,
2022?
yeah, January 1st, 2023 would be the start of the new term.
Okay.
She's a January 1st.
Of 2023.
Yeah.
And then how do we, like, can we put out notice and ask for like resumes from people? I don't know how the whole operation goes.
Well, I think we should put out notice, to hire in her department.
Mhm.
And I would suggest hiring him as a deputy, the same as Shannon's level. And that way, when the time comes for the board to appoint a recorder for the county, you know, they're both gonna, then it's, if you guys decide who you're.
Which one we
And
would-
at that point too, I think you'd still take applications.
Yeah,
Okay.
when we've appointed in the past, Wayne, were you on that when we appointed Shanna? We few of us that interviewed, and then made a recommendation back to the board,
Yeah.
Okay.
And then-
right?
I'm glad you remember
And when,
That's what I
and
thought.
Cindy's, what did we do with Cindy's?
What?
when Gary,
Yeah, when Gary left and, or Colette, it would've been
Colette.
Colette appointed.
We advertised, it went in-house first. We advertised for that position, and then the board, all 5 interviewed.
The board interviewed, okay, cause with you, it was a committee.
Yeah,
Right.
and you can do it either way. You can
Yeah.
do committee or you can do board.
It's however you guys wanna do it.
But first things first, we need to get it advertised.
I think we
First
need,
things first is deputy.
and I think that would be under Brenda's umbrella. She'd do the hiring for that one.
she could, yeah.
Yep. You guys will hire though to replace or to fill her
Do they
position.
need to,
Wait a minute, whoa, whoa, whoa,
a position over there though?
I
just,
think-
just,
Yeah,
do-
it's gonna have to be board approved.
Yeah.
just, oh, if we. The commission can appoint anybody who chooses, who wants the recorder's
Mhm.
position. Does not even have to be someone who's in the recorder's office right now.
No,
Correct.
Then why would we hire someone in the recorder's office right now and on June 4th, appoint someone that's not in the office? In other words, we wouldn't hire somebody right now, because then you're assuming we're hiring
Well,
someone in
then
that
what I think
office.
we need to do is
We need
put
to
out for
put
the
out
recorder
notice, oh, yeah,
position now, and then
Let
the
her-
board appoints that person, whether it's somebody that's already in the office or not, and then figure it out from there.
correct.
But I
That's,
would say to do it sooner than later, so I mean, Brenda's got years and years and years.
that's what I was
of experience.
trying to get at.
Then it would be hired as a deputy, and then,
She'd have 2 deputies then, right?
but hired as a deputy with anticipation to become.
Well, I think you would hire them as a,
Can you have 2 recorders though?
No, it's an elected position,
No,
so
Yeah.
you
no.
have to by default be a deputy until,
yeah, I suppose,
yeah, so we,
but I think it'd be her position, and you should,
Technically, the way I would see it
Advertise
and
for
understand it
first.
is, we can't even fill that position until it's vacated, and then we can, I know it sounds
I don't think so.
too
All
far
candidates
behind,
do
because
that.
we can't have 2 recorders.
we can't have 2 recorders, but I
Right.
think you could hire a chief, cause right now, I don't think that position is even in that budget, so you're gonna have to approve.
Get us some clarification on that, okay?
You're gonna have to prove anybody being added right now, whether it's a, whether it's the person you're expecting to become the recorder or a chief deputy, or just a deputy position, one way or the other, cause it's not in the budget. So, yeah, I think you could hire a chief deputy position until such time as June,
And just put that in your motion.
and do that in one fell swoop.
Okay,
Unless, somebody, like, unless Shannon applies for it, she gets it, then you'd have just a deputy recorder position open.
I agree with that step in the process,
Should we-
right,
should
but
we-
the first
I
thing,
think look at it a little bit and bring it back to the next meeting of what,
I think so.
Yeah.
Just look at it.
So table it until the
yeah,
next.
we'll visit with Brenda a little bit.
I'll put it
I
on
don't-
the next agenda.
I don't even know it's a table thing. We
No,
just
it
bring
doesn't.
up Next meeting,
No,
Just bring it up
We'll
next
just get it
meeting,
on.
okay.
yeah, cause it wasn't even on the agenda, so,
correct, exactly
Okay.
right.
That works.
yeah, so we can get a little more,
Clarification as to what
yeah.
avenues we can take.
Yeah. But either way, you guys will have to approve extra salary for
Right.
7 months. But there's nothing we can really do about it. I don't think it's fair to leave that office in
27.
June, July.
Oh, I see what,
Because
well,
it's all of June.
okay. I know where you're going, but, okay. All right. Well, we got 8 minutes yet. Do we have time to do tax and financial software? Or do we wanna,
How much time do we got? 8 minutes?
8 minutes,
I think we do.
okay?
Absolutely should be able to do that. I just ran a report, and I gave this to the board last year, so this one here is 2019. Here's the counties that have,
And what they have?
what they have
Okay,
in 2019, and then the DACO helps me with this report. And they ran one for 2020, and they didn't have all the counties reporting yet. There's 53 counties, I think there's only 23 on this one from the DACO. It just tells everybody what other counties are using for software, and it's just mostly to have you guys be aware of. I would like to consider, I think it's we haven't even decided yet that we're going to get new software. That motion never got a second last time, but it's absolutely imperative that we get our software that works. We've been without one since 2016. We are the only county, I believe, that the state tax commissioner has to hand enter all the information,
Just one report.
okay?
Yeah.
And out of 53 counties, I think we can improve our practices there. And we shouldn't be going this long without a good software program that works.
I think
So-
after our meeting though yesterday, it was clear that some changes are gonna be made, which will help, put it that way, and changes that, I don't know if I can use, if changes that need to be made, I don't know if that's the correct word for it, but changes that will be made, that will help.
And I think this is a budget thing. Like I reported yesterday in that meeting at the state tax department, that I have a meeting in the morning with CPT, which uses the same, we just upgraded our I-Series, if you remember, Wayne. At the end of 19, we spent $36,000 and bought the new I-Series. If we can find a new vendor that works with that program can do anything we want it to do. We don't need to buy an all-new software program. We just need to find a vendor that can work with the software we have and get everything up to speed and it doing things. I know it can do a lot of things, but we just don't know how to do it. Because there's several counties that use the I-Series, I think it's like 8. And they can do everything that the state needs them to do, and that vendor works with the state constantly on programming and everything else when there's legislative changes. So to improve what we have, I would think would be in the best interest of the county instead of going completely out of the realm and finding something more expensive and completely different. So I do have that meeting tomorrow morning with CPT. I can report back to the commission at the next board meeting, but I do feel like this is a budget time discussion, not a discussion where we're just.
Yeah, it'll be something we
Okay.
discuss at budget time, whether we're gonna budget,
What we're gonna do.
right.
The reason I brought this up is because I want us to possibly, before we make a decision to go with any software company, that we entertain the idea of having some of these other companies come in and compare what they're able to do with anything that is proposed.
And we can do
As
that.
Shanna said that she's possibly suggesting CPT. Before that decision is made, I want you guys aware these other companies are there, and we can entertain the idea of having them come in and compare their capabilities in comparison to it.
Well, Wayne, if you
And-
recall, the last time when we did this, the board's action was largely based on the recommendation of the treasurer, the auditor, the departments that use it, and so there was a big discussion in that respect. And I think Brenda had a different recommendation, so there was,
But as far as
educated input on.
finances and tax software, it was me and Darby and Cindy that all agreed to stay on I-Series, and I think that, the board might want to see something, but at the end of the day, it's our departments in this courthouse that work with it on a daily basis.
Utilize it.
Yeah, that's those
So-
departments that gotta work with
As long as we
that.
can get the board the reports they wanna see,
Yeah.
I think that we should be using a software that we're all comfortable using and agree on.
And you're absolutely right. We did have the input of those offices, and that's why some of that unfortunately didn't move forward. But we're doing what we can do, and those entities are the ones that use that every day, so it's good just to have their input.
I agree that they should be. The last program that we entertained, we spent over $300 and some thousand and we don't have it. And it was also recommended by those departments. And we aren't using it today. We just lost that money.
Okay, anything else?
No. On that subject.
We got portfolios and road issues. Can we start on the road issues, Jessica?
You're the chairman.
we'll get started.
The time is gonna be a stickler when we're like doing bid lettings or public hearings.
Right, yeah.
Otherwise, you're okay, kinda just go with it.
Don't see a big
Okay.
crowd.
Like an hour early.
She said,
Not like an hour earlier.
she said we're,
Something that you're okay.
oh, no, you gave me, you let go of those reins now, so.
Uh-oh, here we go. Yeah.
Moving slow, sorry, tweaked my back.
Are you gonna,
I'm moving a little gingerly.
you gonna go in order as you got them presented here, or do you wanna hop around in? You got 1, 2, 3, 4,
Do you wanna introduce Charlie to the board?
This is Charlie from Interstate. He,
morning, Charlie.
Morning.
taking over Eric's role at
Okay.
Interstate.
Oh.
He works with the city of Beulah too, mostly, and then
Yep.
private stuff too.
And I'm office right in Beulah there, so
What's your last name, Charlie?
Hankins, Hankins.
Say that again, H-A-N?
Kins.
Hey.
And I'll leave a card with you guys when
Oh.
I'm,
Welcome.
Yeah,
thank
well,
you,
glad
happy
have
to
you
be here,
aboard.
happy to help.
First thing on the agenda is, permission to bid one or more motor graders. So we just need to, get the
I had
permission to do it.
I had permission to purchase 2 motor graders, cause that was tabled from the last meeting, so is that scratched off?
And we just have on this just
Well-
one or
Then I had
more.
to add to it.
I- I think Ken would like to see it purchased, but I think he's gonna say bid, right?
Right. That. I was jumping the gun. You would have a bid opening of, April 21st at 10 o'clock. Does that work, Shanna?
Yeah.
You know, that's the same day we have to, I think it's the meeting before where we open like the propane bids, and then we
Yeah,
usually
April
accept them
7th.
that day, or that, after this, that April 21st is when we accept those so we should have time, we just make it at 10 o'clock and do that after.
Yeah. So are we,
And this runs in parallel with them, with, a discussion we had the other day with that 102 and 103 and,
Correct.
are we purchasing, what is the, what are we advertising for, 1?
Well, we have it on our, in the bid one or more, but,
Okay.
I mean, that way it leaves the options open, but.
Yes, it does. Mhm.
okay, then
I need a
I would need a motion that we, would, allow the road department to put out for bids, bid for a motor grader, for 1 motor grader, right?
1 or more.
1 or more motor graders.
Mr. Chairman, I'll see if I can put that into words. I move that we give the road department permission to bid 1 or more motor graders, bid opening to be April 21st at 10 a.m.
Can I just fix that, permission to advertise,
Yes.
to purchase 1 or more motor graders for the bid letting on April 21st, 2021
Right.
at 10 a.m.
Okay,
Do I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Any more discussion? Any questions?
So what happened to the buyback and then get the one that we had last time that we talked about?
Well, the buybacks are, well, 102 is still there as the buyback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're talking about losing, instead of having 6 total, going to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be for that 102, because 103 is the one that's that operator lease where it'll go away. We don't have no equity in it. So that's one we're thinking of, once it hits that 7,000 hour, it goes back to John Deere. The
Okay.
other one has about 400 hours before it hits that 7,000, that's at 102. That's the one that does have the buyback. So that's the one we're gonna hopefully be able to use that buyback to purchase a replacement for it.
And that's the bid that you're talking about,
Yeah.
you're hoping to get on this?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Did that, I think I'm assuming a little too much here, because we met with Ken and we had some of this discussion, so you are a little bit in the
Evidently.
dark, right?
Yeah,
The
I'm
what-
like, whoa, wait a minute.
That is right, the 103 has got real high maintenance I have the number right, correct?
Correct.
And so Ken said, no way, don't buy this thing. So, and that left 102, which has a buyback option on it,
Right.
but we have to redo bids, and then hopefully we can use that buyback for the new machine, depending on how the bids come in.
Okay.
And then he's gonna be, as of today, be less one road grader, but eventually we wanna try and get the fleet back up to 6.
Okay.
Did I butcher that up enough? Did I get it close?
Clear as
I know Ken's not happy with it, I'll mention that, but, I had said we gotta work something out here because of the budget restraints.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's what
yeah.
we're gonna work with now.
And we'll still see once, what these bids come in and how can we afford it, or how are we gonna swing it, you know?
Correct.
Yeah,
If
So-
there is a possibility it might be a lease for now, and then down the road, we can buy, any one of the leases we currently have and/or we can buy out at any point in time. So so I guess to put it real bluntly, we're going to lease it for now and then purchase a machine down the road, not necessarily this one. We'll work on purchasing them, buy out the leases as we go.
Pending on approval from the commission.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
and, just a question for Ken, is this a 6x6 bid?
Yep,
Is this-
Yes.
Is it steering wheel, or is it not a steering wheel?
it's both.
Either
Down
way.
here has the joysticks and the, it's not total joysticks, but it does still have a steering wheel.
And so does Cat have,
Cat's just got the joysticks.
no?
we had that
Not
got-
according to the,
Well, not if you get that machine that Keith, the one that they did last time was the Ambi series, which is the joysticks. The one that Keith has, that's that one that's made in Bolivia. That's the one that does have a steering wheel. It goes back to the old MC or
M-
H series.
140M or whatever they call, yeah,
140M.
'Cause it's-
H, not M. but-
or H.
Yeah.
There was discussion on if they need to be a 6x or a 4x, and the vendor that was present said, yeah, when you're talking the dollars, there isn't a whole lot of difference between them. And then when you go to buyback, you really lose a lot if it's not a 6x. He said your equity is
I
not
suppose.
there.
Two-wheel drive pickup or 4,
Exactly, or your front wheel assist tractor or not.
not, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Can't get a knot anymore, I know.
Okay, any other discussion? I have a motion and a second. Hearing none. Marvin?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye,
Liza?
Aye.
Jean, aye.
Next is, the utility permit, West River Telephone 1732. It's, to provide our, run underneath, 51st Avenue Southwest, which is on the east side of the airport, to provide, fiber optic over to, looks like Legend Air.
Okay, do I need a
Yes, you do.
yep,
I guess I was
So
catching myself, not need. Can I get a motion to approve the utility permit 1732?
Mr. Chairman, I so move to approve permit 1732 for West River Telephone.
Second,
second that,
any other discussion?
right, they're boring that underneath, right?
Yeah, they're
Yep.
going on the west side over to that east side where those, I think they purchased one of those buildings over there for their business.
Okay,
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Marvin?
Aye.
Wayne?
aye,
Liza?
Aye.
Jean, aye. Okay.
Just curious, do you write your name down when you write our names down on that list?
No, because I put down who made the motion and who seconded all the time. Because sometimes we get into a lengthy discussion, I forget who made the motion and who seconded the motion.
Yeah. That's what you do.
I suppose the next one is the chip seals. Next up on the agenda is permission to bid, put out bids for chip seal of, Beaver Bay. These are all the roads that have been 2 years overlay. So Beaver Bay, the east entrance, County 5 going into Golden Valley there off 200, and then County 20 right, a portion from west of the shop over to the bridge on the Knife River there. And then we're gonna do an alternate to see if for County 26 that we did last year on, by DGC from the Y up to the west up there past DGC, and on portion of County 26, and then we're gonna, for Hazen Bay.
Yep.
So then we have the option to see what the bids come in at total for those, but we can always pull those if we have to on that.
You're right,
Those
as an alternate,
Right,
yep.
right.
And the benefit to that being, we know there's work in the area, chip sealing wise, it's already happening, and we see what kind of prices we can get in on, maybe we'll get good numbers.
Yeah.
So right now you
Then-
just-
Then you could entertain the idea.
Yeah, asking for permission to get bids, so, okay.
Yeah.
You said by the shop to the bridge,
County shop,
yeah.
County
How-
20,
Where will it start though?
right there, where Lenny's mom lives.
Okay, that's
SB,
what he's
right
not.
at the- yeah.
So I was gonna say from the shop to the bridge is
No,
not very
no.
much. Okay.
That's like,
Just over to the.
I know.
No, we overlaid that a couple years ago, so.
Okay.
That portion.
All right, gotcha.
Do you have did you present us with the actual areas you wanna bid? Not that it makes a difference in the end, because like you said, you can pull or,
Well, it'd be that Beaver Bay and County 5, that east part, County 5 by Golden Valley, and then, County 20.
County 20.
South and east of Beulah there.
County 20,
Yep.
Yeah.
Mercer County 20.
where's that?
Right south of County shop.
Okay.
Run south on the south side
And
of the
then,
tracks.
and then you said 26 also? Something
that's-
26?
and
From
then
the
Hazen
Y
Bay,
going-
right?
Say again?
Hazen Bay was one of them
Correct.
too, right?
26 and Hazen Bay, those are the alternate.
Right.
Yep. Larger scope, yep.
So a total of 5, is that right?
From the Y to where, did you
Three.
see?
Past DGC up to, what is it, about it's probably half a mile.
Yeah,
west,
yep.
26.
Yep.
When
Is
you
that
go,
up by Middlestead's,
yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of crossroad there?
right.
So you're gonna go up to 15 and then go west about a mile or so, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's probably about 3/4 mile.
I'm just gonna put
Up
County
where that T
26.
is, right, to
Yeah.
26 and
Just get to know.
15.
Yeah.
Just great.
Yeah, it was 50,
Do you
yeah.
have a total of miles? That's usually easier. Isn't that how you normally bid it, is total miles?
Off the top of my head, yeah, I'm trying to think what that would be.
It's
Well,
fine.
Golden Valley's a mile.
When we award it, we'll have the total miles.
And it won't be
No.
by, like, plant people's farmsteads and whatnot, it'll be a little more,
Right.
they're using landmarks to try to figure it out.
Okay.
So I think it's a little bit more sophisticated than that.
Perhaps mile markers or something.
Not our total.
Yeah,
Yeah.
up to this driveway. Oh,
Then,
into the driveway.
sure, this
Oh.
is probably what we'll do is, we'll okay, possibly okay you getting the bids, but then when you come, bring the actual bid also to the meeting so that we know exactly what
Right.
they're bidding
Right.
on.
Oh, yeah.
This will be
Oh, yeah.
specific.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so we don't,
Should we could
right here,
say
don't
we
have to necessarily figure it out by the inch, what
No.
exactly you're gonna.
What do you think it would be?
Mhm.
With all 5 of them?
It's right here, next.
He's on top.
Mr. Chairman, I'll see
I
if I
have to
being
be,
left
Travis
at the
isn't
end
here to
of
keep me in line.
see if I can put that into a motion, Chairman.
Okay. Go ahead.
How about
Do you have a
What?
date though? We need a date in the
21st.
Yep.
Do
Ken.
April 21st, 10 a.m.
Ken and Charlie, do you know when?
Well, that's
We can't.
what we're
Okay.
talking right now, so
I know, I was gonna
don't
do it
know,
the
that'd
same
be pretty
date. Can't we
tight.
do it the same date?
That's gonna be a lot of things on the same day, isn't
May
it?
5th,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want it for the 21st?
No.
We're gonna, I think
May
that's a little
5th,
tight.
that's the date.
Okay, when do you want it?
May 5th?
May 5th, Charlie?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. There.
There you go.
At 10 a.m. again?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I think I can do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we give the road department permission to go out for chip seal bids due May 5th at 10 a.m. per the list he provided today.
Permission to advertise.
Yes.
Yes. Permission to advertise for bids. I wrote it down on the other one, so I would do it again, but
Can we just do permission to advertise for 2021 chip seals?
Yep.
yes.
Okay. Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, Marvin?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Jean, aye. Well, you're not done. We got a question for you now. Since,
Yeah, we had, just these bills came through, and a couple of us looked at it and said, oh, what's going on with this mulcher? With that, we got a pretty big bill for that. Just want you to explain that bill a little bit.
Mulchers are made up in Canada, and we have two of them. And they got chains in there, they got, hydraulic lines going to them. And they're, how old are they already? We've had them for 7, 8 years already. Yeah. So, you just need maintenance, and like I say, when they come out of Canada, we pay we can try to get some of the parts here, but most of them have to be made in Canada. Then you got that transportation fee to get it here. They work with us if they're down in the area, they'll drop stuff off, but we still got, I mean, the parts are parts. It's just,
okay, I think the question was that there was, two of them, so it's, what you did is you fixed up both machines.
Right.
So two separate bills.
correct.
Was that your question?
Yeah,
so to
pretty much,
speak?
yeah.
Okay,
Part of it, yeah.
all right.
I just wanted an explanation.
That was it on those.
Okay.
Okay?
You got signature here, and then Shannon's got on the.
You still need a motion.
Yep, I know.
Anybody have any questions for me specifically?
Do you have any cards on you today, sir?
I do, I'm gonna grab them so I don't interrupt the rest of the meeting. But like I said, I apologize, I'm moving kinda slow, I tweaked my back, so.
If you walk slow, the meeting will be over when you
Yeah,
get back.
yeah, well, that's a good point.
Sorry to hear about your sore back.
Well,
Need my
That's no fun.
signature on something?
slowly realizing I'm young, but I'm getting older apparently.
It'll
I
change.
do, I hand deliver with a smile and everything. See my ugly mug from, going forward.
A cold one, Charlie? Does that come with it too?
A what?
A cold one?
Yeah, sure, whatever it takes.
It, with green color,
It
huh?
needs to be green today.
Not LG beer.
Okay, now I need a motion to approve the bills.
So move.
I'll second.
Wayne did?
Yep.
We're way up here. And Liza second. Any more questions or discussion on the bills? Hearing none, Wayne?
I vote aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Jean, aye.
Do you need this? I know where you're at. I don't need this and this. Here, that's fine.
Okay, portfolio updates.
I know how to get ahold of you.
Not yet. Well, thank you, Charles.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks.
Pleasure, thank you so much.
Do you go by Charles or Charlie, or what do you?
Whatever.
It says
People call-
Charles.
People call, legally, people call me Charlie.
Charlie?
They call Chuck, Chuck Charlie, Jazz.
Hey, you.
Hey, you,
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Okay.
that guy there.
Guy in the blue
Works
shirt.
games too, so. Thanks again.
You bet.
You bet.
Thank you.
Alrighty, we'll see
Hey,
ya.
nice meeting you.
Okay, I'll start on this side, try and mix it up.
Okay.
We always start on that. I'm gonna try and,
Oh,
I don't have much. All I can say is our clerk of court is still at one person. And other than that, I haven't, got any other updates. I'm done.
that's
I don't have much to add. Gene and I met with the road department, and we talked about the road grader finances a little bit, what some of our options were. And I asked Ken to prepare a
I can back.
timeline to try to get these motor graders on a one per
sketch.
year.
Yeah,
And I'm asking him to do that. I put one together.
I see
The
that.
agenda changed a little bit, but I put one together and I brought it to the board for you guys, just for an idea of what we're doing. Now, that's just my scenario, but Ken and his department are working on one themselves, and we'll go with their recommendations. That's all I have.
Just on that, Marvin, I would like it if you could talk with him about including it in his budget, actually, the
Oh,
purchases of
absolutely.
that, so that we don't have it out of nowhere.
Have out of
It will-
nowhere.
Once it gets developed, we will present it to the board, and it would be part of the budget.
right, thank you.
Now, one thing that's on there, on the very bottom line, it says other. That sixth line, what we're trying to do is get all 6 graders, and if you see there, I got 6 lines. I got in 2025 to get us back up to 6, because we cut this year. That's what, this year, just an idea. But on the bottom, it says other, so we have to add some costs for other equipment too, and we'll add that, and that'll also be in the budget.
Perfect, thank you.
That's all I got.
Yeah, we had a meeting with the LEPC and discussed, issues especially about siren. There's a lot of concerns, especially with the volunteer fire departments, about being able to purchase the radios for them. So I did encourage them, if they're looking at, they may need some monies or anything for that, that they would have to present that to the board. And we would have to determine if we would be able to do that for the next budget year, not for this year, but for the one coming up. So just,
Okay.
we may see something from the like ZAP, Golden Valley, and Stanton wasn't there, or Stanton might come in too, just because those radios are extremely expensive.
Mr. Chairman, I was down at the legislature a couple weeks ago testifying on a different bill, but the NADACO did testify on that siren bill, and it did pass. I don't know if it was signed, nothing's been signed yet, but they are gonna include the volunteer fire departments and the ambulance districts and school districts to get that $1,500 cost share for the radios. That's what the county gets, is $1,500, and when that bill was written during the last session, you accidentally forgot those
Okay.
political subdivisions. So, I know that the Senate, I was there on the Senate side that day, and they did give it a due pass recommendation, so.
Oh, good.
So that'd be what, 1,500 a radio,
For
right?
radio, so I think the
Yeah.
radio is still end up being.
The radio,
Like the last couple two meetings ago, we bought 2 radios, and I think it was $11,000, and then we got $3,000 back. So, I mean, it's something, but yes,
'Cause-
they did get a due pass recommendation to include those.
Okay, good, yeah, because it felt like they were left out, like you said
Yeah.
before, and they're very concerned about being able to be compatible once siren comes in place with their current fire trucks they have right now and radio system, so.
Just to add to that a little bit, I know Hazen already got an estimation, and I can't quite remember the number, but I know, for instance, ZAP there, we were looking at least $50,000 to $60,000 just for that radio deal. The deal is, we went through this rodeo with this P25, that's a huge, and even if they do reimburse us $1,500, but you go like an ambulance board and stuff, also, it's a big hit, how we only generate so much, for our mills, and we, now this is just a radio, we got other equipment that's gotta be online and ready, and of course, with dry weather.
I know you guys have set aside that, I can't talk about it.
500,000.
Yeah, for that siren, that money is not for these like volunteer departments, that's just
No.
for the sheriff's department then?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
That's just for our counties.
yeah, just for the county.
okay.
So
was-
Would the Mercer County ambulance be included in that?
Well, they would have to upgrade, but they wouldn't be included in
They would
what
not
we
be
set
included in
aside.
what was set aside, that was for.
Correct.
And we might have something left.
Right.
That we could use and help
Right.
these
Okay,
subdivisions.
that clarifies.
Well, now the Mercer County ambulance, that is our responsibility as a county,
No.
is it
No.
not?
No, they're their
No,
own,
they're their
That's
own
why I
entity.
asked.
they're their own
They're our
board,
government board.
Right.
yep.
Okay, because then I was gonna say, so what is our fiduciary responsibility to the political subdivisions on these radios?
Nothing.
Okay. That
So
was
the-
gonna be my,
So the discussion won't end today, in other
No.
words, I mean, this is
No,
just.
and I was just gonna give us a heads up
Yep.
that they may be coming
sure,
to us to request assistance due to that.
How much was reimbursed, you said?
1,500
$1,500 per
radio.
So we got 3,000 back so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, and it was deposited into the siren fund.
Yeah.
but the radios cost, per radio is way more than 1,500.
Yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
around 4,000 or almost
Well, it was
5.
It depends
11,000
on-
too, so.
Yeah.
And that's because, that's
Well,
specific though
that-
for the sheriff's department, for
that's-
their rigs.
Yeah.
So it may be
Scram-
different for a fire
Right.
truck as opposed to,
Okay,
Carmen knows all the numbers on that too. But I just wanted to give us a heads up that it may be coming.
Okay, thank you.
And another thing that they had at the meeting was, Valley IT Solutions Emergency did a multimedia demo on a pilot project that they wanna do. And, it seemed like it was a little much for what our little area may need, but, then they brought up, that technology keeps moving and that maybe it would be good to have to come at least do the pilot project to see how it would work here. And, so Carbon was getting feedback from people to see if we were actually gonna go through with that or not, and I haven't heard yet what was decided. And it,
Just to add to that, I just found out the other day that actually the Zap Fire won't call until they get up to the gun club, because they cannot get out on Main Street of Zap. So if they gotta go respond back to Mercer County, they usually wait until they're up to the gun club, and then they can hit the tower. Whereas you were mentioning, they all got cell phones, they can just, it came over the phone, they can say, yeah, we're en route. There are certain spots that,
I got you.
that this can work, and it's good to get a trial out there to see, because we got dead zones out there, unfortunately.
and it's an actual program where like they could see where the other guys are. Even like if Stanton came to assist or if another agency came to assist, they could see them on their phones to see how far out they are or
How
which
many.
side they're responding to
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It would just make communication easier for them. We talked a lot about the ambulance and how we're very concerned about HIPAA regulations for the ambulance on that. So, that we kinda set aside a little bit, what we thought maybe the fire department would really benefit from it. But I'm not sure where, if Carmen got results back from people to say if they were gonna try it or not. Like I said, it's just a pilot project, wouldn't cost us any money for that time, but then they do have a purchase price after that, a year.
Yeah.
And that's the only one I have a report on.
Thank you.
Well, as I handed out this morning, this was one quote that we got for that building asbestos, and that amount was,
I think I lost it.
oh, that's all right, it was
Okay.
$97,800. I'm glad you're sitting down. So we're working on, of course, some more quotes, and as you've seen down here, one thing it said, which we didn't catch, it says owner will provide power and water. Well, Jim thought the hydrant is there. The power, one building has power, but the other, the grocery store, I seen the chimney fell over and hit the upright or whatever, the power part, and that's knocked off, so.
Are these two buildings, aren't they connected?
No,
So
One-
it's the building and then that empty lot, then the next building?
no,
No.
It's the grocery store, which is right here on the corner,
Yes.
and then it's the building that's connected to the bar.
Oh, goodness. Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it's the one right against the bar there, yeah.
Okay,
The auction
I
house
have-
is
I-
actually between two buildings.
Yeah,
okay.
and then there's another owner, right, that has a building to the east of it then.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can read into this. I was a little astonished, the floor area looks quite large, but I must be right, 6,000 square feet, huh?
That's the Reedman building?
It's the old, no,
Auction house?
That
it's,
one is,
It's a
and then
big
the grocery
building.
store, yeah.
So this is just a bid for
Just
removal?
one of the bids.
this
This
one,
is a bid
yeah.
for the removal of the
Asbestos.
asbestos material only, not getting rid of the building or any of the cleanup,
But it
just,
would include both buildings.
Both,
Yes,
both
Okay.
buildings on this bid, yeah.
Wayne, was there any concern when you visited with him, that one building's attached to the bar? Did they talk to the bar owner? Any concern about the joint between the two buildings?
Well,
We don't wanna get a bill from him
I
later
don't
on
think
saying
we've
that.
talked about removal of the building, yet. It's just been removal of the asbestos.
yeah,
That's a whole different ballgame yet.
I think we'll first
Is there a
know,
clear-cut line between our building and the bar as far as the roof goes? Cause we're taking that sheathing off of there.
one,
it will be a discussion we're gonna have to enter into
I'd
down the
say.
road.
yeah,
First we
well,
gotta get the asbestos
Cause
One-
we-
resolved.
we
I mean,
take another
once-
bill
yeah,
from the
once,
But we're just talking about the asbestos right now, we're not talking about taking down the building,
No, I'm
actually.
not talking about taking down the building.
But-
The roof line between our
Yeah.
building and the bar, is it a distinct clear-cut line, or will we affect his building and might get a bill from him just because we took the asbestos off the roof?
Because that roof line you believe has asbestos in it, correct? Is that what why you're bringing that up?
Yeah,
Yes, that's what Marvin's getting at. He's thinking that's the roof that asbestos is in that has to be removed.
No, I believe it's over in the store.
Okay,
I put the story together yesterday for the
Okay.
paper and called Jim on that to confirm which roof it is, and it's the grocery store roof.
no,
Okay.
Okay.
answer my question, it is a clear-cut line.
Yeah, and it is, yeah.
okay,
And to get a little deeper on that, once we get that open, then we'll see if there's even, we don't know if there's a common wall or not. Once you get the structure, that sheeting away, then we'll know where we're at here too with that, between the bar and that Reedman auction house. So hopefully they both have their own walls, but we don't know that for sure, so.
mhm.
Jeez.
Okay.
So more discussion, hopefully more bids, hopefully better bids, and we'll go from that. And the only other, we didn't have the weed board meeting. They had evidently, a lot of guys went to the ball game, so that took care of that. And we're working on the airport there. We're gonna be opening bids, I believe it's in April here, for the runway project there. So we'll see what those bids come in and see where we're at and go from there. I guess that's sums it up.
Okay. Of course, you probably all got a copy of this. I'm not sure, did everyone get this? That, it looks like there's gonna be some more money that
Oh, yeah.
our president is proposing that a relief proposal by Congress to everybody. It looks like we're gonna get about 1.5 million. We're gonna get half of that here shortly.
Yeah, it says on here.
First half in about 60 days,
Yep.
and the second half within 12 months. So just a heads up that we're gonna have some, roughly about what, 750,000.
Good thing when Jim's quotes come in.
Is that asbestos relief?
It's kind of feeling
Yeah,
that way.
by the time we got done with these two buildings, who knows?
Who knows?
This is not gonna be, sadly, it's gonna cost the taxpayers, it
Lot.
looks like quite a chunk of money to get rid of a couple buildings, but we gotta do what we gotta do, I guess. Anyway, I think that's all. So, motion to adjourn? Or do I just adjourn the
You
meeting?
just adjourned.
Just
Okay, meeting adjourned.
Chair can do it.
That one I haven't learned yet. I'm used to asking for one.
Okay, sometimes it's